Hey everyone and welcome. You all know who Calvin Robinson is, and I'm sure you all know who Cambridge is, and I'm sure you've seen the Cambridge debates that are complete confirmation of what we all suspect, and that is the highest echelons of education in our country is in the bloody toilet.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Before we get into this though, folks, you know I rely on you, each and every one of you, amazing people, to help the channel grow. So I need you to share it. If you've not done already and you've watched one or more of my videos, why aren't you subscribed yet? Hit the bell icon to get notifications, hopefully. And if you want to help the channel out, and me personally, buy me a cup of tea. There's a link in the description, everyone. Let's get into this. Now, this is a debate on reparations. Should we pay reparations? And Calvin gives a great speech. Have a listen to this.
The evil of slavery has always existed, particularly amongst the elite, and it was the grassroots, it was the normal folk in this country that said enough is enough. We caused an uprising, we protested, and we said we don't want it to just stop at home, we want it to stop all around the world. That's quite significant. The British people put an effort in to end slavery everywhere. We spent half a century with gunboats sailing around the world, eradicating slavery. We broke international laws, we broke the laws of the sea to abolish slavery. We were bold, we were brave, and we were a righteous nation. We composed 85 pieces of legislation in our parliament to prevent slavery in the 19th century. Nope. We spent £20 million to fund the Slavery Abolition Act, and you can say that that money was poorly spent, but if that's money spent on ending slavery, I say that's very well spent. That's the equivalent of 40% of the government's total expenditure. We would not do anything like that today. So of course, I will wrap up, of course slavery is an evil, one of the worst, most horrible acts of all nations past. But what I'm saying is that it's an awful practice that has taken hold of every part of the world at some point in history. The difference being, we put an end to it, we made arguably the biggest impact on clamping down on slavery there ever has been, and that is something to be proud of. It cost us dearly, not just in monetary terms, but in human lives. So no to reparations, because it was a worthy cause fighting the good fight to end slavery, but we have paid that price already. Thank you very much.
Now, did you see the little pipsqueak in the background, giggling and laughing all the way through that? Did you see that? Well, this is Calvin smashing his stupidity out of the water. This is a verbal slap and sit back down, pretty much, and it is glorious.
Do you think that we are still suffering from the consequences of slavery in the Roman Empire versus...
Who is we? Who is we? Who is we?
The ethnic minorities here, the people who are descendants of the Windrush generation, they are still very much suffering from the impacts of empire. Do you think that is really an appropriate analogy to compare them to people who were slaves under the Roman Empire thousands of years?
In what way are you suffering? In what way are you suffering? You can gasp and clasp your face. You're sat in one of the best universities in the world. In what way are you suffering? You are privileged. If we don't recognize our privilege, then we cannot help people who are not privileged. There are people around the world suffering from slavery today. Slavery is still happening, but people want to live in the past.
Perfect response. In my honest opinion, privilege is what they are, privileged. And yet they're still the bloody victims, aren't they? Absolute joke. And it is more proof that the education system is in the toilet and needs to be completely reformed, root and branch. He really thought he'd got one over on him, didn't he? He really thought that just slamming out the buzzwords, the message, that he'd win. Wrong. Now, Calvin's right. We're all getting blamed, aren't we? Including all of the classes. For something that only the elites were involved in. Did your ancestors have any slaves? I can guarantee they didn't, or made any money out of it. It was our elites that did that. And guess where our elites learnt the trade from? Oh yes, the global south, the ones that are so hard done by. They were already doing it a long time before we got there. We just took up the trade and then decided that the trade was pretty abhorrent actually, and we should stop it all over the world. So thank us later, entitled prick. And in regards to the young entitled prick, how about this? If historic slavery applies to the British, why would it not apply to the Romans or the Ottomans or any other nation that relied on conquest to expand? Slavery was part of it. And why are you not crying about modern slavery that exists to this day. Guess where it exists? The Global South. Yes, you're right. This is how it's done, everyone. Stay sane. See you on the next one.